Guys, welcome to NeezaNizam SG channel, where we share a lot of things about real estate, especially in Singapore. So those of you watching the channel for the first time, thank you very much for coming on board and all that. For those who have been watching, a big thank you as well. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for being part of our property empowerment journey. So today, what are we, or rather, what am I going to share with you out there? Basically, today, Property Nuggets will be talking about executive condominium as well as private property, all in the name of new launch, not resale. Okay, just to be very clear with the audience out there, we are talking about new launches. New launches mean building under construction. Right, so what we're gonna do today is we want to see the difference. Basically, a lot of us probably have read in blogs, in reports and all that, but the difference between EC new launch and a private property new launch. So but today I will give it a bit of a spin, my own spin, so that to me it's easier for you to understand and see how it works for you, so that you can make an informed decision. So without further ado, let's start. I'm just going to go straight into my slides because of the fact that I just want it to be very concise. Okay, executive condo or private new launch, which new launch project suits you best? So this is an important question that we need to ask ourselves, especially if we are planning to upgrade, whether from a HDB or from another private property. So as the title goes, executive condo or private new launch, which new launch project suits you, right? So as far as I'm concerned, I would like to categorize it into basically three steps, right? Three main consideration, basically three main consideration of what do you call that? Three main consideration that is important when it comes to looking at private condominium or executive condo for that matter is these three factors, in my opinion. First, eligibility, affordability, and potential gain. Very important to understand each and every one of these factors, so that you know what you're getting yourself into, right? So moving forward, right? So the first important factor, eligibility. All right, very important for executive condominium. You must meet HDB eligibility criteria. Mainly, you must form a family nucleus. Family nucleus, what does it mean? It means that it must be husband and wife, mother and daughter, or mother and son, or father and daughter, father and son, or two siblings which are single but above 35, or non-related single above 35. So these are part of HDB criteria for executive condo if you were to buy it at launch. Now, household income, so you need to have a maximum household income of 16,000. So all applicant combined income must not exceed 16,000. And at the same time, if you are a HDB upgrader, normally I think more than maybe 60-70% of HDB, or rather executive condo buyers, are HDB upgraders. Means they already own a HDB, they are selling them and buying an EC new launch. So of course, when you buy HDB direct buy a HDB flat direct from HDB, which means a BTO, built to order flat, definitely you are subjected to a resale levy. Of course, at the same time, if you are staying in a resale HDB and has taken or enjoy the grant, CPF grant for the government, then you are also subjected to resale levy. In my other videos, I will share with you how much are the resale levy. Basically the bigger units, you have to pay a higher resale levy. And I must say, executive condo new launch, it is meant for the sandwich class, according to the norm. But to me, it is for the privileged Singaporean. Very, very important. Those privileged Singaporeans, if you're eligible, this is something that you must look at from a mid to long term perspective, right? So how about private condominium? Private condominium is very straightforward, right? So there's no specific eligibility criteria for that matter, no income ceiling. So these two things basically, if you have the means, you are able to buy, if you be able to take the loan or you have sufficient fund, there's no issue in buying any type of private property new launch, whether it's 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3, 4, 5 or penthouse. So it doesn't really matter as long as you are able to finance the purchase. But the only thing that you need to understand from a buying a private condo perspective is, if it is your second property, be it currently you have a HDB or currently you're having another private property, if you're to buy a new launch, it will be considered as second property. So ABSD applicable. So ABSD is additional buyer's stamp duty, which is a tax imposed on purchasers that already have existing property and buying subsequent property. The ABSD ranges from 12, 8 to 4% depending on the number of years that you have held the property or you hold the property, right? Now, the second factor is affordability. This one is quite important, especially when it comes to executive condominium, because of the first reason. Because if you were to buy executive condominium, you are subjected to MSR. What is MSR? MSR is mortgage servicing ratio, which was introduced back in 2013, if I'm not wrong, in order to ensure affordability when it comes to executive condominium. So MSR, mortgage servicing ratio, it is a means to gauge, right? 30% of your household income is used to determine how much you can loan. So there's a cap. To be very frank, there's a cap in terms of how much loan you can get buying an EC new launch. All right. Now, based on our experience and dealing with so many EC new launch buyers, especially in today's market, right? Household income bracket of about estimate 10 to 12k minimum to buy a decent size EC. So this is important for you to have a insight on how, whether you are in the correct bracket. Are you able to afford, or do you have to top up with a lot of cash or CPF? Right. Comes to my third point. More CPF cash needed due to loan restriction. So if there's a loan restriction, you cannot get as much loan. No doubt your income is high, for example, but there's a cap. At the same time, you of course with restriction, you need to put in more CPF and cash. Now, if you have heard about the recent EC launches, be it in Punggol or Sembawang and all that, average price is about 1,001 per square foot. So imagine if it's a 1,000 square foot home, it will cost you about 1.1 million. Typically, that would be a 3-bedroom, unit, right? So how about private condominium comes to affordability? As I mentioned earlier, okay, private condominium is subjected to TDSR, total debt servicing ratio. Of course, it calculates the 60% of household income used to determine the loan. So it includes your car loan, renovation loan and all that. Example, if your income is 10,000, so 6,000 is taken into consideration if you have no other liabilities for your housing loan. So this is something that you can Google, you can look at a lot of blogs out there, but I just want to give you a perspective. Right. At the same time, current new launches for private condominium starts from 1,002 per square foot and beyond, of course, depending on location and type. Right. So like I said, the last point, location and type determines pricing. So if you were to buy in Orchard, Orchard are called CCR, core center region, which is one of the prime location. Of course, it cannot be 1,002 per square foot. So it is averaging about 3,000, 4,000. And there are also units transacted at above 5,000 per square foot. Right. Moving forward, the third factor, potential gain for executive condominium new launch. Typically, right, because of the subsidized land that the developer bid during the land bidding, the price of ECs are typically 20 to 30% cheaper than private. So you have a head start there, right? Of course, if you're a privileged Singaporean, you meet the eligibility criteria and all that, yes, you do have a head start, right? 20 to 30% cheaper than private property, right? No difference in terms of how the condominium is run. You have to pay maintenance fee, there's AGM, there's MCST, there's also all the facility. Today, you cannot tell the difference between an EC and a private condominium. To be honest, some ECs are well designed, a lot of greenery, a lot of themes in the EC that when you at first glance you don't know, you won't know, or rather you won't know it is an executive condominium, right? So having said that, so lower initial investment, chances are higher gain in the mid to long term. So these are things that you need to understand from potential gain perspective when it comes to buying an executive condominium new launch, right? How about private condominium? Private condominium, okay, pricing dependent on location, land bid price. Like I said earlier, if the land is released by the government in the prime location, then of course the land size is subjected to how big the land is, as well as how much is the base price. So of course government will not sell land cheap because of the fact that it is a very precious commodity or precious thing in Singapore, which is land. So prime location will attract high land bid. So this is important for you to understand. If land is bid high, developer who are profit making entity will definitely have to sell it at the profit. So these are things that you need to understand. But in today's context, a lot of things are depending on timing and readiness. Alright. So first mover advantage, because of sensitive market condition and all that, developers tend to price it right during launch when it comes to private property, private condominium new launch. So if you are able to take action, you will have definitely the first mover advantage. And of course, buying property, whether it's private condo or EC, you must have entry and exit strategy. What do I mean? If you enter early at launch, you have the first mover advantage. So when price starts to move and times to sell, when you think that you have enough, you want to cash out, look at circumstances, look at the economic condition, look at the demand, then if it's the right time to exit, yes, you must make a decision, right? So this is how we generate wealth from property investment, right? So moving forward, I'm just gonna give you a brief, this is not comprehensive, but just a table for you to understand. So these are about for new launch, EC and private condo. So with executive condo, there's a minimum occupation period. Means you need to stay, once you collect the key, you need to stay 5 years before you can sell or rent the condominium. For private condominium, there's no such criteria. So basically, if you buy today, you can sell the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, depending on your strategy. But of course, the first 3 years there is SSD for private condominium. If you to sell in the first 3 years after you purchase, the seller's stamp duty applicable, right? We will do a video on that so that you can have an idea what are SSD and ABSD. All right, we will do so as a reference video soon, right? Of course, executive condo, CPF grant eligibility. Yes, EC, you're eligible for grant if you're a first timer or you have not taken any CPF grant previously. If you're an upgrader, so you are eligible up to 30,000 CPF grant depending on your income bracket, right? Of course, private condominium, there's no such thing as a CPF grant, right? Household income ceiling, yes, EC new launch has an income ceiling of 16,000. Private new launch, no income ceiling, right? It's whether you can afford or you can afford. That's about it. Of course, EC, no doubt, is under the jurisdiction of HDB. Approval goes to HDB, but you cannot take HDB loan. So that is a given. So you must understand from that perspective. And of course, it's obvious that private condominium, there's no such thing as HDB loan. All requires bank loan as shown in my slide. Alright, why did I put in the UCPF for purchase? Because some consumers out there are not sure whether when you buy private property, whether it's EC or private condo, whether you can utilize your current CPF in your OA. I'm telling you, you can, alright, for the deposit, for the down payment, as well as for the monthly mortgage. So no issue about using CPF, right? So, having said that, I hope this short video gives you a glimpse of what kind of property suits you when it comes to upgrade. Right, whether you are the privileged Singaporean, meaning whether you are still eligible to buy an executive condo. If not, what are the options available where private property or private condo are concerned? So these are strategies that you need to understand. So I hope if you have any queries for that matter, not to worry. You can always contact me or contact us at NeezaNizam SG, whether it's in YouTube, whether it's Facebook, or you can always link with us in our Instagram, NeezaNizam SG as well. So I hope this short video will give you a bigger perspective or more clarity on what type of property new launch suits you and your family, whether for the mid to long term perspective. So see you in my next video. Nizam Adli out. Bye bye.